welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me on my journey, and I did make it to 18,000, as you can tell, and I am so grateful for that. So yay. Yeah, something happens to me when it's time to do remote viewing for me. I start dreaming like a couple of days before. Some images start to come in. It's almost like that power that kind of rolls in with the clouds, you know what I mean? And it engulfs me. And I know that it's time. I know that it's time for me. I don't know if this happens to other people. Maybe you can comment that down below. But I just feel it. I can do a remote anytime that I choose to do it, but why not do it when the energy is so available that it just makes it easy? And that's the reason why a lot of times you'll see a remote view video like every so often, is because I want to take advantage of this easement of the power that I can tap into that is available for everyone to do these remote views. So stay tuned. I think you're going to enjoy this. I'm going to do some out of the ordinary ones to see if I can do it as a challenge. And yeah, here we go. And subscribe and push the like button. I also like to recognize Martin Luther King anniversary recognition. Yeah.
Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance.
Okay, so first up, somebody wanted me to look into the middle of the earth. I've never done that before remotely. Anyway, so if you're seeing this, then something came up. Here we go. Take a deep breath. And here I go. Ooh. Middle of the earth. Hmm. I'm trying to get past this bright red light that they keep on showing me. So it's just a bright light, like the lightest in the middle. And as you go out, it's darker red, darker red, darker red. So there's that. Starting to show me layers in the earth. There's a layer. It looks glittery. It looks shiny. It looks illuminating. All of the other layers are different colors, but this one here really looks interesting. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to go in and I'm like touching it now. What is that? It's illuminating. It's a layer that it's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick layer. It's almost like it has moon dust on it, like moon illumination in it. Trying to touch and see if I can feel. Now, when I feel it, it sounds like a crazy story. Like this used to be the moon, or both of them used to be the moon, but this was a place where it's telling me a story. This used to be the moon. This used to be the second moon. This used to be the moon of another planet. That's what it's kind of telling me as I'm touching this layer, this illuminating layer. That's interesting. Okay. I'm going to keep on going up and seeing if I can see another interesting layer. I'm seeing faces in one of the layers. Not skeletons, faces. There are a whole bunch of different faces. What is that? This is so interesting. What are the faces? All I see is faces. I'm going to go all the way up. I'm floating, like I'm floating in space, and I'm going, and I'm able to move towards it and able to touch it. And I'm touching the faces. And the faces, so I touch the stone beside the face, and then I touch the face, and the face, I feel energy and warmth from the face, and then cold from the earth next to it. But I feel energy and warmth of the faces. And they look like stone faces. They're not like human flesh faces. Imprint. It's an imprint of humans. Oh my gosh. So imprint, like the earth and everybody that lives on it. I don't know if this is like a literal thing that you can see the faces. I think it's giving me an energetic information, like everybody that lives here imprints onto this earth. We are imprinted. And I think it's giving me a collective layer of being imprinted, as in the reason why we can energetically feel our ancestors, rely on the energy of our ancestors. This is like native information here, is what it's telling me. The one of the core belief systems of native culture. We are imprinting on this earth. Wow. Okay. And that is also the information that has been suppressed. Once we realize we can collectively connect to that imprinting, that's where we can heal the earth. That connection. How do we get to that connection? That's where the folklores come from. Connect with earth, touch the earth, touch the trees, all the plants. That's the reason why nature is so incredibly important. It just told me that nature and the trees and everything that lives on this earth is nourished by the imprint. Why the oceans die when people on earth are sick. Why forest flourishes when the people on the earth connect to the imprint. This is, oh my goodness, I could write a book about this layer. Wow. Okay, I'm coming up out of that. I do not, oh my goodness. That changes almost everything within me, where I'm thinking I'm going to the stars, but really I am going within the earth energy to collectively get this information also. All right. I am going to throw some cards on that. This is from Shining Hawk Oracle deck, and I am going to pull 3 since the native culture came up in my reading. I'm going to pull 3 cards and see what this says. Wow. See, I do something new and that's what I get is information from the earth. I felt so good touching that layer. So good. So it says bear spirit, water, bear spirit, water, the connection of the earth. And it says, listen to the energy. We can hear it. We can feel it. Listen to what our imprint on this earth has been. And of course, tobacco means sacred herb in the native culture. So it's telling me this is sacred information that was gifted to me to know and now gifted to you. Wow. This one, it's a little heartbreaking, actually. This one, somebody has asked me to do a remote view on the child that got swept away in the storm. Here's some information about that.
Search for a child who was swept away in a car in the Paso Robles area. The call came in just before 8 o'clock this morning. CAL FIRE says the car was trying to cross where a downed tree had impacted the road. Other people in the car were rescued, including the child's mother, but the child remained in the car when it was swept away.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into a full remote view because it's devastating. Of course, the child did not survive, okay? The car is absolutely wedged under water at this point in time. I did go into remote and asked when this car will be recovered, and it will be recovered. As soon as all of this water recedes, the exposed top half is what I see in the remote view will be seen, and that's when they'll be able to recover the child. So, yeah, horrible. Okay, so this one here is a question about Ukraine. Apparently, the footage and all of that about the Russian, this is apartment building bombed in Ukraine in a Russian invasion. So everybody knows that these are problems. Everybody knows what's going on. So I'm going to do a general remote view on Ukraine and the war and call it that because, yeah. So I'm taking a deep breath. Going in. Okay, so the only thing I can see right this is the dirt. So, okay. So we have the buildings, we have the cities, and then it's showing me underneath all of the cities is jet black. So I think it's telling me piles and piles of burnt debris is starting to accumulate and layer and layer and layer. So that's the first image. It's probably related to the apartment buildings and all the bombings and all of the destruction that's happened. Trying to come up out of that. See spiritually the war itself. Oh. Okay, so it just literally showed me, you know how you do cord cutting ceremonies on your own personal beliefs and on your own personal thing, like cutting your cord from an ex-wife or husband or from a family member that's toxic, whatever it is. They just literally showed me the most biggest cord cutting ceremony of Russia and Ukraine together. Like they were all here and they are separating, and Ukraine is meticulously cutting each and every cord. Like there's thousands of cords between them, and they're cutting and cutting and cutting, and they're cutting. So they are working on the cord cutting energy from Russia. Wow. Okay. As soon as this cord cutting ceremony, emotionally, mentally, physically, is complete, is when the war will be complete. And Ukraine will be 100% separated from Russia. And they're doing it quickly. Like I see, and a cord comes back and it recoils and it recoils and it recoils. Over here on this side, they are putting cement or some sort of, it looks like cement. Well, it's probably just cement in my mind, but whatever this is, they're trying their best to coat each cord is strong. So they're trying to strengthen each one of the cords, and it's not working because Ukraine is cutting them before that strength even gets over to the other side. So each side is doing something different with the cords. And I'm trying to see into the future after the cord cutting is done. Cord cutting is done. Russia falls flat on their face. Ukraine celebrates. Okay. Well, that's a direction I didn't realize it was going to take. Let's do a quick reading on that. What cards do I want to use for that? Let's do situationals. Situationals, everything you can find all of my cards on Etsy or Amazon. I also have a local celebration store here in Colorado Springs I go to, but most of those are also on Etsy or on Amazon.com. So, situationals. Wow. This is fascinating. Okay, 3 cards for the Ukraine and Russia. Divine masculine, their power, the men's power, each the Ukraine and the men showing up, showing strength, getting it done. Proof. Self-explanatory. But they are in mental lockdown right now. They are in mental lockdown right now, which makes a lot of sense. And then you insatiable. They want more freedom. They want more freedom. So they're working hard. Go Ukraine. Okay, so I'm going to do a remote on George Santos or whatever his name is. Here's a funny.
So my name is Anthony DeVolder. I'm a New York City resident. I've recently founded a group called United for Trump, so if you guys want to follow, that would be awesome. My question's directed for both Blair and Brandon. Well, Brandon's an idol to all of us. Thank you.
Okay. So we have no idea if who is his name, what is his name, who he is. Is he even a citizen of this country? Who knows? I mean, this guy has pulled off the best scam ever, but he had help. As we all know, the Republicans vetted him. They knew who they were giving their money to. They don't care as long as it's a warm body who has votes that they can count on. And who can they count on most? People who they have dirt on to give them votes. Who can the Republicans count on most to support them? Are the people they can threaten. You know, that's one thing about McCarthy. It's not that he had so much concessions with all the people as he had more threats. His speakership is based on threats, which is very weak when it comes to power. So there's that. But George Santos, or whatever his name is, Anthony, whatever his name is, I'm going to do a remote. So here we go. Okay. First thing they showed me is him putting on lipstick. I don't know what that means right now, but that's the first thing they showed me is him literally putting on lipstick. Red. Deep red lipstick. Continue on. All right. So they have me on this street. He's half woman, half man. Could this be a trans person that we don't know anything about? Maybe. I don't know. However, or maybe he wants to be trans, maybe he wants to transition, he wants to publicly, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is, but he's half woman, half man in this picture. And he's skipping in the rain. He has his umbrella and he's like skipping, like he's dancing, and he's skipping like ha 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 ha. And he's having the best time of his life. He is enjoying this, and he doesn't care if he stays or if he goes, but he's definitely not going to choose to leave because I'm going to enjoy every bit of this. And being dishonest is irrelevant to him. He's like, liar, qualified, who cares? Nobody is. If I leave, so what? I got famous for a minute. I'll go on. I'll go do other stuff. I'll use this to my advantage. He does not care. Okay, so now they transitioned me out of what he thinks about it into what the Republican Party. The Republican Party, this is very interesting, and I don't know why they showed it to me this way, but all I can do is tell you what I just saw. He's sitting down. Somebody behind him has a whip. And he goes like this, right? And he goes, hey, peace. And he's sitting there again, and something comes from this side, like a box, and it hits him in the head. And he looks up at them, hey, peace. This is the scene that he's doing from the Republicans. So he's getting he's getting hit. He's getting he's not getting the warmest welcome. But he has, I see, like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Bobblehead, all of them coming by, and they're almost like high-fiving him. Wow, you pulled it off. I'm impressed. Wow, good job. I can't believe you did it. This is great. This is interesting. I need to know how you do it, like that. So one side's bombarding him. He's trying to make peace. The other one is congratulating him. So he's getting some really mixed messages from the Republican Party. Okay, I'm trying to go forward and see. Oh, I just literally saw him walk out like chain link door, like a gate. All of the stuff on the inside, and he walks out and he closes it and puts the little thing down. And he walks away with his stuff, and he's just as happy as can be, like, ha ha, look what I just did. So I think he is gonna leave, but he don't care. He's gonna laugh about it for a long time. All right, I'm out. If there's anything with him, is he's very entertaining. This is the best scam that somebody has pulled off in a long time against the government. And it's like I showed you these people are clowns. I showed you, that these people don't care. It's really weird, actually. So really weird. All right, I'm doing my situationals with him as well. Let's see what we come up with. All right. Synchronicity. Well, that's fascinating. Synchronicity. Everything's synced up for him. Everything aligned. Like everything aligned for him. Everybody got on board. Everybody pushed. Everything aligned for him to get in there. So synchronicity. Completion, lesson learned. I don't think this is for him. I think this is for us. Always, I don't care on which side of the aisle you're in, always make sure that candidate is true and not lying. So I think that's also a lesson for the Democrats, to not get onto this. Threatened, embarrassed. Appearances, the face, the clown, the liar. Last one, unexplainable pull. Magnet. He felt it. I'm not saying he's one of us, but he definitely felt the urge and the need to do this. Oh, this man. The Republican Party alone is crazy. All right, everybody is really, really worried about the Biden documents. Was he set up, this, that, and the other? Set up, I really don't feel like somebody's slipping things in. However, there's a few things that we need to learn. Number one, Biden never lost his secret clearance, right? He doesn't have nuclear codes sitting in all of those boxes and all of these secret things. I think that's the reason why Trump said a long time ago, all the presidents do it, is because he knew that some of these things were able to go home. So now, all of a sudden, these are hyped up. You want to know is, why is it happening, right? Well, the media has to grab onto something. They're hyping it up. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to come as what Linda G would say, a nothing burger. It's not going to do much of anything. I really feel that deep down in my soul. They're going to go investigate it. They're going to come up with it like everything's fine. Biden had clearance to have these papers. You know what I'm saying? The archives weren't even missing them. They didn't even know that they were gone, you know, that type of thing. So it doesn't matter. Biden has always been able to have secret papers and documents. Did they belong to the state? We don't know. Did they belong to the country? Don't know that either. But he's always been able to have them. So let's chill out on that. Will it affect Trump's being prosecuted with the MAGAs? Maybe. However, you know, Trump is saying, oh, Biden's being treated special. They go after me, but Biden gets no, honey. Trump, you have been treated special throughout this whole thing. Anybody else would have been hauled off to jail. You're the one that's being treated special. So let's just let this play out. Let the report come out. I know it's hard to endure all of these allegations, but just bring it back down. Take a deep breath. I really feel it's going to be okay. I know that the Republicans plan to hold the economy hostage in order for them to get what they want, the Social Security thing to go away. And of course, I think one plan is to have it privatized so that they can bank on the Social Security of the money that we've been paying in for years and years and years and years. Little freaking thieves. However, I'm going to look into that. I have had dreams about all of this, and it's almost like the Democrats hold their vote. No, the Senate goes, I dare you, and they get they get pushed into seeing what they will do. Or yeah, the rest of the Senate or the rest of Congress, it's almost like calling their bluff. Like, do it. Do it. We're not budging over here and we're not budging over here. Do it. And they cave. Because they know that that's political suicide. So that is some information that I have been dreaming about. They just like, ooh, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, do it. And then they're like, oh, nobody's moving. Nobody's doing what we want them to do. This is political suicide if we do this and we continue on and hold the economy hostage to get what we want. So I don't think it's going to work out too well for them at all. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got a lot out of this. Yeah. Have a good day. Bye.